All right, folks, welcome back. Normally in this segment we do a Give Me Five, but we are welcoming back Larry Kudlow, who was with us in the previous segment. And Larry, you broke some news in a piece that you wrote that we referred to about the optimistic GOP story everyone's missing. We talked about how a Republican Senate would put bills on Obama's desk, and that would then, also affect the Democratic presidential candidate, because if he vetoes them, they'd have to say if they favored that veto or not. But you believe that if the Republican victory is big enough and the Republicans gain control of the Senate, there are a couple of Democratic senators who might shift sides of the aisle and become Republicans.
I do. What I'm hearing is, first of all, Joe Manchin of West Virginia, who may as well be a Republican. His voting record is conservative. He's going to switch parties. And the surprise, perhaps, is Angus King, the independent senator from Maine, who has been caucusing with Democrats, but I'm also told that he is likely to switch over. And I heard just today that he has actually said publicly, I didn't know this, that he would, in all likelihood, caucus with the Republicans. So they may wind up, right now I have a 53-vote Republican Senate. That's my estimate. That could rise to 55 if I give them New Hampshire and North Carolina, but I won't yet. On the other hand, if they pick up two more, Steve, you could be looking, 56, 57 Republican votes, and if you get 10 more in the House, you're going to have a massive Republican majority as the election, the voters essentially repudiate President Obama and the Democrats.
That would be amazing. That really would be some story. All right, let's talk a little bit about what happened today, what the Fed did. I'm anxious to hear your opinion. Of course, the end of QE3, the tapering has been going on for quite some time, and the pledge to keep interest rates where they are for a while as well.
Yes, but I want to say, even though I'm occasionally a critic, I want to give a kudo to Janet Yellen. She talks very dovishly, but by ending QE all this year, and today is the final, she followed through on a more hawkish approach, okay? And I give her credit for that. She could have at several times in this year, slowed down, skipped a month, made the taper longer, and she chose not to. She basically said, we're going to end it, and she ended it. And I'm going to give her credit for that. I don't frankly think the policy worked. Any of the QEs worked very well at all. But nonetheless, we're done with it. The Fed's getting out of the bond buying business. Regarding interest rates, they'll raise them. My guess is it'll be sometime in the middle of next year. But I want to make this point, and this relates to the election and Obama and the Republicans. What we need to move this economy from 2% growth to 4% growth is a corporate tax cut to 20%, don't double tax the overseas profits, and that provides cover for the Fed to start normalizing interest rates. Corporate tax cut and then a gradual rate rise from the Fed. The dollar will be stronger, inflation will be quiescent, jobs will increase, and so will incomes.
But Larry, it's a shame that corporations and businesses don't create jobs.
Right. That Hillary Clinton needs some tutoring. She's kind of like Cesar Chavez in a pantsuit. Her whole philosophy is a lot farther to the left than her husband. I don't think people get that.
Well, yeah, and she keeps bringing up her husband's great success with the economy, and still has her left-wing vision of it. So it's going to be interesting to reconcile those two views. Larry, great to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming back on.
Thank you.
All right, Larry Kudlow, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very interesting to see if the Republicans can, in fact, take the Senate, if they would even up that total by virtue of two, one Democrat and one independent, as he pointed out, who caucuses with the Democrats, then joining the Republican side of the aisle. All right, we're coming back after the break with Washington Times columnist Charles Hurt, our good friend, right here on the Steve Malzberg Show, only on Newsmax Television.
Pat Boone here with a word about